Hello and welcome to Hari's Helping Hands. My name is Hari G. Darcy, and today we're going to have a fun little chat about the psychology behind setting boundaries. We may not control every thought or feeling, but setting boundaries helps us regulate our lives and protect our well-being. Before we dive deep into this conversation, I just want to have a friendly reminder and a friendly chat that first and foremost, anything that you do here through Hari's Helping Hands, whether if we share, we comment, we spread the love through tips or donations, or even something as simple as sending me a message and letting me know what works out for you and what needs to be refined, all of that helps us help you and other people out to move forward, not only with themselves, but also with us. We want to give back to the community as much as possible, not just providing forever free content, but also hold that space and to be in the present with you. So at any point, if you feel that we could improve somewhere, or maybe you have a topic in mind that you want us to talk about more or elaborate more, send us a message. The messages are open. There's no paywall behind messages. Awesome. And of course, if you want to throw in like a extra 50 cents to $1 every so often because you think we did a darn good job, hey, spread the love too. We love it. Alrighty, let's dive straight into the conversation. Alright, people often misunderstand boundaries when they are trying to use them in their personal and professional lives. People think boundaries are like barriers that are there to isolate others. The truth is, boundaries help you control yourself and stay safe, especially if you're a pop-off kind and you really want to get the last word in. It's totally fine to set a boundary, please, because words come to life. The power of life and death is in the tongue. And the last thing that we all need is for you to make a huge life-changing mistake. Anyway, boundaries help your brain and nervous system avoid overload from stress responses. Research in cognitive psychology and stress science shows that prolonged emotional labor activates the brain's threat system, particularly in the amygdala. When a person consistently carries responsibility for others without reciprocal support, the nervous system remains in a heightened state of alert. Over time, this leads to emotional exhaustion, decision fatigue, and burnout. This pattern is common in individuals who become the quote-unquote reliable one, the problem solver, caretaker, or emotional anchor. These individuals often develop what psychologists call over-functioning behavior. Over-functioning behavior is when one takes on more responsibility, hoping it maintains stability for others. I know this all too well. When my family and I used to live in Louisiana, and I, with the help of the kids and my ex-husband at the time, but I was mostly the one that had to do all the cleaning, the cooking, the educating, the making sure things are up to par, the folding of all the clothes, the washing, the everything. Ex-husband, on the other hand, he'd go off and do his thing and comes back, sit his hindquarters down in front of the PS4, PS5, and game until it's bedtime for the kids. There are times where he would doom scroll on his phone, and I'm sitting here probably about to start a grease fire in the kitchen. So, yes. As a fellow caretaker, if I'm just being blunt honest here, I hated it. it frustrated me because I did need help. The task itself wasn't overwhelming, but the lack of people being hands-on was. And I've grown to accept that there are just some men and women and children out there who are legitimate bums. For the longest, I protected this personality because I had hope that they would step up to the plate and I didn't even have to ask for help. They just knew. Like, come on, guys. I'm making dinner for 4 people, 5 including the grown-up, and it's been over 24 hours since I've had a decent meal sometimes. Or the only meal that I did have is 3 pots of coffee. Because every time I turn around, I had to do something. I had to perfect the way that I homeschooled because the other parent didn't like how I was doing it. Or I had to make sure it was clean enough for everybody to live inside of the household. Otherwise, it would not be good enough for the kids or the parent or anybody else that's coming over. I never had time for myself. And it broke me. It broke me so bad to the point where I just couldn't do it anymore. Like, I mean, not to get too personal, but there were days where I legit forget to brush my teeth and to take a shower. At least anywhere between 3 to 5 days. Because I'm always on the go. I'm always doing stuff. My off days was probably the only time where I actually brushed my teeth thoroughly. And I took a nice steaming bath. Or at least I tried to take a nice steaming bath before everybody else used up the hot water. So now I am used to taking lukewarm to ice cold showers. In case if somebody wants to get hot water happy and use up all the hot water. Kids. Anyway. While this behavior may appear strong on the surface, it comes at a cognitive cost. Want to know how? So, I've included a link below, but check out the subtle signs of overfunctioning for gentle, clear examples of how taking on more than what we can realistically handle looks like in our personal lives. This beautiful read is by The Anxious Overachiever, which is here on Substack. I will totally include the link in the podcast description as well, so y'all can stop by and read it. It is totally free, and oh my goodness, it opened up my eyes because every single word that The Anxious Overachiever wrote or written, whatever, the words that they put down in their post, I connected with it from start to finish. So yes. If you really want to know how, check out this post. You will not regret it. Moving on. Setting boundaries helps restore neurological balance. Boundaries reduce cognitive load, stabilize emotional regulation, and signal safety to the nervous system. They allow the brain to exit survival mode and return to higher order thinking, including reasoning, problem solving, and emotional clarity. From a behavioral perspective, boundaries also reshape responsibility and control within relationships. When healthy and realistic boundaries are absent, people can unconsciously adapt to the imbalance in which one person carries most of the responsibility, creating a pattern of chronic overfunctioning. Over time, others may become extremely dependent on this dynamic, making it increasingly difficult for the overfunctioning individual to disrupt the cycle, reintroduce accountability, and step back from constant demands. Like I mentioned earlier, I am used to not taking a break. I am used to being grumpy as Squidward, bubbly as SpongeBob, silly and dumb as Patrick, but I have at least 8 to 10 arms going at once. I'm overstretched. I'm overworked. So, healing from a long-term relationship with an overfunctioning caregiver begins with rebuilding autonomy and learning how to tolerate responsibility without avoidance. Yes, there is a solution. This is that solution. All you have to do is just say, hey, I recognize what you're doing. Can I help out somewhere? Somebody like myself that's used to doing everything on her own all day, every day, 24/7, 365, 52. Yes, there are times where you're just going to have to gently but sternly remind me that there is help. My ex-husband did do that a lot, but I also look at body language as well. If you're sitting down dunking on people in 2K25, 2K26, you're not looking at me at all, but you're telling me in the most quote-unquote authentic tone ever, if I need help, reach out. 9 times out of 10, I will not take you seriously. I am reluctant with asking you for help. It's not on me. It's the fact that the delivery doesn't make sense. It's not convincing enough. I can't trust it. But if there was somebody else that came along and be like, hey, I see that you're doing a lot. Can I help you? I will be more quick to allow that stranger to help me versus asking a loved one to help me. And it's nothing personal. It's just delivery is important. Body language is extremely important. And most definitely clear, authentic communication with proper eye contact is very, very important. All of this involves developing emotional awareness, practicing accountability, and establishing clear communication to restore balanced relational patterns. Over time, individuals learn that connection does not require dependence and support does not require control. So, from both sides of the spectrum, I have to learn that sometimes when people offer help, it may not look ideal to me, but if they are true to their word and very authentic and they won't make me feel like asking for help is just another burden to them, then yes, I will continue to work with myself and grow and push and accept the help for what it is. One wise thing my ex-husband did say while we were together, because there was plenty of times where he would reach out to a family member and I'm just like, why are you reaching out to them if they're just going to keep messing up? Like the way that they mess up and the way that I mess up, you have more grace with that family member than you do with me. You let me know the mistakes that I've made and you make it seem like I'm your daughter instead of your spouse. But when your family member messes up, yes, you get disappointed in them, but you're quick to say, hey, that's my bro, that's my sis, that's my whatever. On the inside, it did not feel good, even now, sharing that, but the advice and the wisdom that he provided, which is actually very smart, sometimes you just know who's good at doing what. You have to know who is good at doing what. Not everybody will be good at doing everything. So if this family member over here, they may be bad at doing this, and this, but they're really, really good with doing other things over here. Anytime I have to deal with those other things over there, I can reach out to that family member, no problem. He also continued with the observation. He even pointed out, I'm very, very good with paperwork. I'm very good with writing. I'm very good with being professional. So naturally, when it comes down with certain things, I'm at least within the first 5 people he would reach out to when it comes down with meticulous things like that, accounting things, data keeping things, whatever the right terms that I need to basically say, yes, this is my strength when it comes to that person, when it comes to transacting business with them. So that advice also goes to you too. Sometimes not everybody's good at doing everything. Even when you ask for help, they may actually be very horrible with helping you in certain areas. Then again, they might need a little motivation, but still, it is best for you to just see where they are the most helpful at, and instead of doing that thing, just reach out to them and say, hey, look, I noticed that you're really good at doing this. Can you do that for me real quick? And then I can pick up the rest. Boom, that's a good trade-off. Boom, that will help people be on the same page and work together more effectively. But of course, you also need to know the personality that you're dealing with. If the personality that you're dealing with, if they're kind of like, sometimes up, sometimes down, then you have to know when is the right time to ask them for help, or maybe just avoid them completely. All right, guys, let's take a breather. So, thank you again for joining Hari's Helping Hands. I totally appreciate your love, your support. Of course, if this article helped you better understand your boundaries or recognize patterns you've been carrying for so long, like forever, and ever, then Hari's Helping Hands is here for you. This nonprofit newsletter offers a safe, supportive space to learn, reflect, and regain balance. It will always be free, forever free, with no ads or paywalls. And of course, all donations fund our research, writing, and outreach. Your support keeps this space open and accessible for everyone working to protect their well-being and restore balance in their lives. Don't hesitate to press the spread the love button, or just share. Share whatever content that sticks with you the most. Share your comment on the content so people can flock to you to see what you had to say about it. It's okay. We want to spread love to you too. For now, we're about to call it a day, an evening, an afternoon, a night, whatever. Thank you again for being part of Hari's Helping Hands. I'll talk to you next time. And you already know, you are loved. I love you for you. I adore you. You are needed. I don't care what anybody has to say about you. I love you, okay? I really and truly do. I love you. I adore you. I think you're special, and I think you are fantastic. I'll talk to you next time.